course, Robwell McGregor, another interesting clash. Of course, the local boys there hoping to do very well. And Brad Fittler as captain, he's got a big weight on his shoulders to carry.
And what about the forwards? I don't know about a question mark over Richmond, but he hasn't played too much big-time football, especially up against Gillespie and Harrigan.
Well, he's got some experience with him in Mark Carroll and David Fairley, who have, of course, played plenty of football. Brad Mackay at the back there, and Steve Menzies on the edge of the ruck. I expect him to have a very strong game. And, of course, Carroll up against Gillespie, the Manly boys, they'll have a great duel. And in these conditions, both Tom Rodonics and Phil Gould looking to use all their 17 players, so these guys are going to play a role. I expect Greg Florimo, when he comes on, to have an impact on the match. Of course, he finished up in the test team on the Kangaroo Tour last year, and also Craig Field. He'll do something special when he comes on, be sure of that. You're tipping a City win? Just by a couple of points. It'll be a hard duel, especially a defensive duel, but I expect City to scrape home, Pete. Yeah, my heart says country, my head says City. And the important thing about this game, for the first time in a long time, it really is a possibles probables game for State of Origin selection. So a great way to kick off our first representative game for 1995, City versus Country here at the Steelers Stadium.
And it is Country Origin first out onto Steelers Stadium. A big moment too in the career of Paul Harrigan, skippering this side tonight. Rain across New South Wales and Queensland in most parts, I guess a very welcome sight, but for the supporters here, the very brave supporters here at Steelers Stadium this evening, they wouldn't have minded if it just held off for a few more hours. Those hardy souls on the hill, they certainly deserve medals, although they'd probably exchange them for hot cups of soup. Crowd, I guess, 6,500, 7,000 for this one. And Country Origin looking to repeat their effort of last year when they defeated City Origin by 22 points to 2. David Gillespie, one of the more experienced players in the pack. Of course, the City Origin pack contains no less than 5 internationals. So for Gillespie and Harrigan, they'll be the 2 players to lead from the front. City Origin out onto the ground. Brad Fittler also skippering a representative side at this level for the first time. I've mentioned those 5 internationals in the pack. Jason Taylor, the last man out on the ground for City Origin. The internationals in the back, there's one of them, Brad Mackay, Fittler, Tim Brasher is there, Terry Hill, of course, and Craig Hancock in the blue and gold jersey. Set the scene from the sideline, Steve Roach.
Yes, thanks, Andrew. Gus Gould was very disappointed with the commitment of his City side last year when they got flogged by Country, so expect a lot more commitment from them. Ball control, obviously, both coaches have talked about that. Expect Taylor to bomb Gordon and Willis on the wings, and I'm really looking forward to watch Andrew Johns in this company. It's a pity it's so wet. Should be a great game.
Certainly Andrew Johns, and spare a thought for his brother Matthew Johns, who I guess would have been probably in this side tonight, barring injury. The same was the story last year. Eddie Ward, our referee for this evening's clash. We take it from that, the #1 referee in the game. And Brad Mackay it is who'll get us underway. The representative season kicks off for 95. And Steve Carter it will be to have first touch of the ball inside his own 20. And the first tackle of the match made by Sidaris. Cherry Mesher now off for Harrigan. A few nerves for young Cherry Mesher tonight. A real rise to prominence. First penalty of the match goes to the Countryside.
And you can see the waterlogged conditions out there. Technique is going to be all important. Very strong charge from Harrigan first up, taken low by David Fairley. The referee ruling against Mark Carroll, holding down in the tackle. Plenty of blue and gold jerseys involved in that one.
Keep in mind the amount of football that's been played on this ground today. They in fact kicked off before midday. They've had 4 preliminary matches. Now to the main event. And with the ball is Adam Muir, tackled just inside the City Origin half. Blindside play now for Barnhill. The defence stood back and waited for Barnhill, Jason Taylor. And Country working this ball forward, now 35 metres out from the City line. It goes across now to Carter, and his kick is well over the head of Brasher, but perhaps not big enough to go over the dead ball line. This is pressure on Tim Brasher, and there's 5 country jumpers there to meet him.
Great chase there by the country boys. The ball not bouncing as it would on a dry track. Angled for the in-goal area, and it just held up there, and Brasher, he had no hope of getting out of there.
That's a sign of things to come. The kicking game's so important in these conditions. It'll be interesting to see who can gain the ascendancy in that department. Taylor and Andrew Johns, very good kickers, but we saw there Steve Carter quite adept as well.
This is Adam Muir in possession and lost the ball. It just slipped out. Terry Hill back with it for City. 29 metres out from his own try line. The penalty's now 1-all. Similar offence this time, but it goes the way of City.
Mistake there from Country, handing the ball over cheaply. Adam Muir. He's had it knocked out by these City players. I think early on, it's quite obvious that the Country team have targeted Jason Taylor in defence, and that's where they'll be sending their big men.
Mark Carroll loves the representative stuff, just brushed aside from Steve Carter, who went high. Went straight through him. Now Taylor. Cut-out ball went past Mackay, and Adam Ritson with his first touch up to the 40. They're set out on the left-hand side, City. That's the way they go with Taylor. Inside it came for Fairley. Muir was there, 12 on 12 over the top. Gillespie the work down below. Back to the open side now. Fittler and Taylor. The kick charged down by Carter. Chance for Country. Carter over halfway. Evades Fittler, his Penrith teammate. And now has lost the ball in the Terry Hill tackle. And Eddie Ward rules the knock on. And I think Carter has been really stung in that tackle of Hill.
That was a shame for Country, because once Carter picked that ball up from the charge down, there it was there. He had Willis unmarked on the outside, but didn't look. And Willis might have run 50 metres and scored a try.
Oh, gee, he get cleaned up too, didn't he?
Mark Carroll it was, coming over the top.
Very surprised there. You'd have thought that Willis would have called for the football in that position. He was unmarked on the outside.
It was a real mud runner's track, this one. And with it, Jamie Ainscoe tackled. 10 metres inside his own half. Again, they work the blind side. This is Mackay. Got away from Johns. Almost slipped off the legs of Mackay as he attempted that tackle. Completed by Adam Muir. Again, it's David Fairley. Crunching defence from Harrigan. The head of Fairley rocked back in the tackle. This time, Carroll works it forward. Little step as he got to the line. Off the right away from Gillespie. Back to the blind. Fittler kicking for Brasher. Getting across for the football is Sears and cleans up. And referee Ward rules the penalty here to City.
Yes, Timmy Brasher on the run through there was felled by Paul McGregor. Eddie Ward, there's a quick tap being taken by Mackay. Searches for the line.
So there was Sears cleaning up the kick, but you can see City Origin just 5 metres out from the line. Taylor inside for Ritson. A big man, Adam Ritson, and falls heavily in the tackle. Pushed back to the 10-metre line. Now inside from Sidaris to Carroll, almost through again. The first up defence from the countryside at the moment. A few question marks on it. Mule with that time missed Carroll as it goes through Taylor and Fittler. Lovely ball on for Terry Hill. Equally good the ball in all defence of Willis. Now blindside goes Menzies. And again Willis makes a crucial tackle. That is tackle number 5 for City Origin. Taylor from 10 metres out. Here's the kick for the winger that Blocker spoke of. Gordon's under it. It goes away from Gordon, and then McGregor tries to clean up. And Eddie Ward has ruled the ball was knocked forward by City.
Well, all sorts of pressure there for Country. Great try-saving tackle from Darren Willis on this side of the field. And then the pinpoint bomb from Jason Taylor. And off the hands of Robbie Beckett. Referee ruling that the wingers knocked the ball forward. I can't see a knock on there.
Couldn't see the knock on by City. The players, referee Eddie Ward, will do it tough in these conditions as well tonight, but he was right on the spot for that one. And we were playing this on the 30. Now it's Barnhill, second row partner, and that was a good front on hit from Ritson. And Ward very quick to rule the penalty there against Adam Ritson.
I think players tonight are more in danger of drowning than anything, getting injured. There's a lot of water on this paddock. So the trainers working overtime with water bottles spraying players' eyes.
Bumping run forward by Gillespie, got over the top of Sidaris.
and the Wollongong Ocean in the distance.
World-renowned, the Wollongong Ocean, the countryside, 5 metres inside the city half. Mesha, more to Carter. The city side employing shorter passes from the ruck. And Country have paid the price with a drop ball. Now back the way of Robbie Beckett, one of the young players in this side tonight. It's Taylor, across to Fairley. Shorter ball again for Mackay. Almost got through the tackle of Rodwell that time. Rodwell able to get a hold at second attempt. Carroll. She went high on Mark Carroll.
Pretty good shot on him as well. Good strong start from Mark Carroll. He just feel around the nose area as Adam Ritson tackled on the fringe of the ruck. He's working wide, combining pretty well the city forwards as Sedaris out of dummy half finds Fittler.
That came off a Country leg, then a hand, and Country come up with it because David Barnhill was in an offside position.
Well, another quick tap taken here by City. Jason Taylor, the cutout pass is a poor one behind Terry Hill, and Rildo propelled the ball towards the opponent's try line.
I have to agree with him too. Eddie Ward, he had a good side of that, and Terry Hill, although reaching back for it, I still claim the ball did go forward. As an ordinary pass, a speculator, and there it is there going forward.
Terry Hill made a cameo appearance as a cow last night on the New South Wales Footy Show. Did a good job.
Gee, that's a rough, isn't he? Did a good job as a cow.
We've had a few animals on the footy show, actually.
All of insects. As now it's Matt Sears with it. Almost around the outside of Fairley. Some heavy defence over the top. Mark Carroll is a man on a mission tonight, making his point to Paul Harrigan, who will be one of the first forwards picked in the New South Wales Origin side on Monday evening. As now it goes away to Barnhill. Went high on him was Brad Mackay, and Barnhill shoved out a forearm, which is not a good practice. Not that high anyway, as now John's on the last tackle, kicking away from the winger Hancock. And again, the chase is a good one from Country.
And speaking of Paul Harrigan, it's a testimony to the man's courage that he's even out there. He spent 20 hours in bed yesterday. He's very, very sick, and Crook, and many of those on the toilet, I think, but he's out there tonight and he's leading the side and playing very well.
Of course, earlier in the week, a knee problem for Paul Harrigan. So he hasn't trained with his side all that much during the week.
It's been less than an ideal preparation for the countryside, of course, with Rod Wishart pulling out during the week, allowing Ashley Gordon to, the wilderness really, to resurrect his representative career. The last tackle now, City still deep in their own territory. Ball back to Taylor. He's not going to find a lot of distance, and in fact, kick straight towards Ashley Gordon.
Much pressure on the kicker either that time. We've already had one kick charged down, and now penalty to Country. Downtown was the ruling from referee Eddie Ward. You can see 4 of the players there, and Ward had obviously given the call to those players.
Yes, and what Eddie Ward means by that is that the kicker, the chasers can't be in front of the kicker and get down there. Oh, there's a very simple mistake from Harrigan, cleaned up by Mesha. And that's going to be the problem tonight. You've really got to play good field position and control the football every set of 6. And that's... He was coming back at an angle which made the catch a little bit more difficult, but it's really one that Harrigan should have taken.
Tab punters, I guess, tonight have favoured the low-scoring match. As now Eddie Ward rules another penalty, this time offside from the scrum to City, and again they're looking for the quick tap. Bit of a jostle there between Hill and McGregor.
Yeah, good decision here as well.
Well, he's inside the 10, and I think he's also gone high. And being called out is Adam Muir and the captain, Paul Harrigan.
Just a caution from Eddie Ward for Adam Muir. Steve Roach, a big fan of both Harrigan and Muir on the sideline blocker.
Yes, testing Eddie Ward's patience here. It won't have to be long before he sends someone in the bin. He talked to a couple of the Country forwards in, but it's been a good start to this game. The big men really making their mark.
Again, Mark Carroll was able to beat the first man in. It was Harrigan that time. Sedaris through Taylor. A cutout ball again went past Mackay to Ritson, then slipped the ball away. Dived on by Barnhill. Well, in that situation, I guess Ritson thought the pass was on.
It's been a good tactic, though, hasn't it, by Phil Gould to run Adam Ritson wide of the ruck. He's aiming it where there's a bit more space, and Barnhill is having trouble pulling him down, as are all the country players. So he's playing quite well.
He's causing some problems on the fringe of the ruck, and of course has the ability to offload there. It's a dangerous situation. As Fairley comes up with a strong tackle.
Nick Cossack, first touch of the ball, and Mark Carroll. There's been a head clash here between the two. Thank you very much, Manly teammates.
Well, anybody who ever thinks that representative football, when you've got teammates up against each other, don't give everything, have a look at that.
Fulton would be wincing, wouldn't he, Fatty?
Well, I don't know there's too much in it. It's more or less a ball and tackle. I don't think it was high. It was just a good, solid charge by Carroll. He put his body there, and Voss got the broken hooter. Look, I know Mark Carroll. I've seen him down at training in Manly. He is just so desperate to make this New South Wales State of Origin side, and that's the sort of defence they'll need up against Queensland, let me tell you.
All right, then, as Harrigan coming back in field. Country working good field position here. And referee Eddie Ward here going over to check on Kosef, who will be headed for the blood bin after that collision with Mark Carroll. And big cheer comes out from the crowd for John Cross, the Steelers captain. He's wearing jumper 17 as David Barnhill spun away from a tackle there of Stephen Menzies. Country 25 metres out from the line. Now Adam Muir comes back into traffic away to Johns, his Newcastle teammate. John's wrapped up 18 metres out from the city line. It was Ritson the tackler. This is Barnhill, or rather Cross. Now 9 metres out from the try line, and last tackle for Country. They're a bit skinny on the other side. They work to the left. It's Johns now, the little left footer, through the legs of a City player. Brasher only just got there. And line dropout for City. It was a photo finish. So tight start to this match. Country and City locked up at 0-0. This line dropout from Jason Taylor. Steelers Stadium, the venue for the first representative match of the year. No scorers yet, City and Country, but this the best chance for Country now. 25 metres out from the line, and only having used up one tackle is Rodwell. Into the centre of the park, tackled by Mackay. Also there Menzies, continuing to work the left side of the field. It's Gillespie. Gillespie shoved out a forearm which brushed away from Taylor. Back it comes to Johns. It was a good quick play the ball, and Harrigan charging onto the football 5 metres out from the City line. They're spread out deep to the right-hand side. Mesher, Johns, now for Carter, then McGregor. McGregor trying to get on the outside of Ainscough. Turns Gordon back inside. Still 15 metres out from the line. And some driving defence from Menzies on the 5th. Look for the high ball from Johns. He waits to the last moment, then the little chip over the top. Again, Brasher has lost it. Ainscough able to clean up for City. The result is another line dropout.
Another great kick there from Andrew Johns. He has time, and that's the sign of a good player. Look at this on the last tackle, weighing his options, sees the space just to the side of the post. Tim Brasher coming across, very difficult in these conditions to get on the ball on the ground. He's forced it. The line drop out again, so all sorts of pressure, but it's been good defence from the City team.
So Country launch another attack through Barnhill on the 20. The dropout from Taylor, 30 metres, but Barnhill took it on the fly as Johns again across to Adam Muir. Very heavily involved Adam Muir in the opening to this match. As Mesher, Gillespie runs the blind side at full steam, turns the pass back inside. Mackay's able to dive on it for City. And that is a let-off. There'll be no hurry here from the City side, just to regroup. Went up around 15, 16 consecutive tackles they've had to hold on. Hancock out of dummy half. City far and away more defensive work to start this match. Mark Carroll. Just on Craig Hancock, Fatty, I know you're an admirer of him, but he certainly deserves to be here tonight in the City side.
He does. Quite often he gets called underrated. I don't think he's underrated. I think he's up there. Well, obviously showing out here tonight with the best of the wingers we've got around. He really knows how to finish a try, and he's got plenty of courage as well.
Kick finding some open space. This is Darren Willis. The Magpies doing very, very well in 95 under Tom Raudonikis, who of course is country origin coach. Putting some real spirit into this countryside. Johns now. Roughing these conditions, Andrew Johns. 40 metres out from the city line. Again, it's Harrigan. Fenn got him away from Sidaris. And then Mackay with a tackle. Now on the 30 country. It's Johns again. Takes it right up to the line. Then away to Muir. Back it came for Rodwell. The shorter pass is a little more effective for country now. And it is the 5th again for the countryside as it went through Mesher. Some room here. Carter taken out of the play by Ainscough. Eddie Ward said play on. And City back with it on their own 20.
Well, Ainscough took the chance of sprinting out of the defensive line there and to put some pressure on Carter, and it worked. He shouldn't really take those chances, but in the wet weather he did, and sent him nearly over the fence.
It's great stuff, isn't it? The body contact there, unbelievable. As Beckett's away, he's got plenty of speed. Johns in cover, misses.
Beckett up over the 40. He got around the outside of a couple. And City now on the attack as it goes through Taylor. Then away to Fairley. He's tackled in the centre of the field, 35 metres out from the country line. Still no scorer. Sidaris with a scamper out of dummy half. Fittler, a hard ball onto Ainscough. Almost knocked him out. And country back with it on their own 30.
I think Fittler there was actually looking for the winger Beckett. And then Ainscough came flying through, and I think more or less got in the way of that ball.
As up goes John Cross. Out a couple of weekends ago in a match against the South Queensland Crushers. For that tackle, Mario Fennick is serving time on the sideline. As this is Muir again. Penalty ruled from Eddie Ward. Inside the 10, he'd nominated a player, that being Brad Mackay. I don't know about a kick at goal from 25 out with a heavy ball in these conditions, but Andrew Johns has been in fine form in 95 and one of the leading point scorers in the game.
It's been a very willing start from both teams. One thing about this, you would expect Andrew Johns, even if he misses, to put the ball dead. That would be one of the considerations by that man there, Paul Harrigan, as to whether to take this kick or to keep the pressure on another set of 6 in their opponent's 20-metre area.
There's been a few mistakes so far in the game, but the football has been of high quality, I think, a great standard, because every player out there knows that he's a chance to pull on a blue jumper in a week or so's time.
The speed of the game has been what has been impressive. This is Johns. You saw an 80% record this season, and this one 25 metres out, around 9 or 10 metres off centre. It's on his favoured side. See if he can get the distance. He'll certainly get the distance, Andrew Johns, but wide of the posts. So we remain at City and Country 0-0. Back to the 20 for the restart. Done a few dropouts, the City side, another one, but this time the first one from the 20. And almost a mix-up at the back, Barnhill and Gordon. Actually, Gordon must feel like he's been in a time warp for the last 12 months or longer. And somehow he's landed at Steelers Stadium City Country night.
He showed great faith in his ability. Wanted to have a year off because of the injury problems. He was playing Western Suburbs in Newcastle a year ago and was graded with the Knights and has gone on to rep honours. Doing quite well out there at the moment as Country boys go wide. Carter stepping back inside. Pushes through a couple more defenders before nearly reaching the 20-metre line.
Sidaris missing a few tackles as David Gillespie inside the 20. Inside it came for Muir. They've been forward the pass. Play on from Ward. It's the last tackle. Country again. Will they look to hem them inside the in goal? This time Johns with a high one. Brasher is back there with plenty of protection. Superb take from Timmy Brasher. Wonderful football from the Tigers. Fullback and centre Tim Brasher.
As you pointed out, he got a lot of support from his teammates. They knew there was danger. Look at them lining up to get in front. Taylor's there, Menzies there, Hill, knowing how important it is if the chasers away and give their fullback a free catch.
Again, relieving themselves of the pressure. This is Stephen Menzies, 10 metres inside his own half. There's Carroll. Well, Country get one back on Mark Carroll. David Gillespie.
Yeah, well, it's the third time Cherry Mesher has gone up and belted Mark Carroll as well. He'll be sick and tired of the side of this young Western Suburbs hooker. No fear in him.
Back on the last tackle again for Taylor, kicking for this western side of Steelers Stadium. The ball not going to bounce over the sideline. Willis, though, has to dive on it. Another good chase there. Herring down on it, Craig Hancock. Now Brett Rodwell back outside his own 20. Sedaris went low that time. Surface water, and as you can see, as Cross runs right into one of the worst affected parts of the ground. Now Johns with some space up the centre. It got past Sedaris. Stood in the tackle of Menzies. Mill was cleaned up by Jamie Ainscough. Now it's David Barnhill over halfway. Brad Mackay, lovely ball from Barnhill to Carter. Stringing the passes together. Johns then to Rodwell. Now 40 metres out from the city line. Last tackle for Country. Away to Carter on the blind side. It's come off the legs of Terry Hill and into the arms of Craig Hancock. Not the play they wanted on the last. Again, City. Mark Carroll tried to throw the pass. It slipped out of the arms. Well, Eddie Ward's come up with a knock-on out of that.
It's got to be a pretty tough night tonight for Mark Carroll. You'd know better than I do, Paulie. Does he wear contacts these days? Or?
Yeah, he's as blind as Pete.
Well, it's going to be a real tough night for him.
He's got the contacts on. I mean, he's a million to one to see anything out there.
In these conditions and taking wide passes like that, it's not going to be his go. So a chance now for Country as they win the scrum. Carter inside to Rodwell, driving defence from Brasher.
Brasher at the moment given the opportunity to star in this fullback battle with Matt Sears. Is now John Cross inside the 20, then away from Brasher. Almost through 15 metres out from the city line. Will they crack this time? As Mesher goes for his first dart of the night and then stumbled and was heavy work over the top from Menzies. As Johns again inside for Harrigan. Harrigan the offload to Gillespie. There's numbers here on the right-hand side as Cross came back in. Held up in the tackle of Ainscough and also Menzies. 10 metres out from the try line. Johns searching for some space. Turns Muir inside. Muir back to the Johns. Pressure on Willis to take the pass. He does well. Darren Willis. And caught just a metre short of the try line. Country now. Dummy half as Sears. Away it came for Rodwell and it was the last tackle.
And that's a poor play on the last tackle. They should have come up with something better than that, but a desperation tackle by Hancock and Hill on Darren Willis saved the try. And Hancock struggling now to get away from his own line. Here it is there. Hank Hancock just grabs him and Hill comes over the top.
I just wonder whether Andrew Johnson needed to throw the cutout pass there. They'd have gone through their hands and could have taken advantage of a little overlap that they had created. As Fittler hands off to, looks like Jamie Ainscough coming under a bit of tension. Very physical game, this one. Good to watch.
Field position, it's all Country at the moment. That is 5 tackles up and they're only back to the 20. And Taylor's biggest kick of the night, I guess, has only made around 30 metres. There's the kick again. And again, it only just makes it over halfway. And the brakes applied to the ball through the wet conditions. Darren Willis. Up over halfway he goes and further. Then away from Carroll, up over the 40. And then slides another 5, Darren Willis. Good run from the flanker. As it goes forward now through McGregor. And penalty again to Country, this time right in front of the city posts. Offside rules Eddie Ward. This time they've gone for the quick tap for Johns. Then it came back inside for Mesher. Mesher held up in the tackle of Tim Brasher, 15 metres out from the city line. This is enormous pressure as Gillespie. It'll only take one missed tackle and we'll have a 4-pointer.
John Simon on in 14 for Country, on for Steve Carter as Harrigan finds Andrew Johns. The long pass again to McGregor, one-on-one.
McGregor got away from his man, McGregor, and then was held up in the tackle, locking up the ball. Jamie Ainscough over the top. It comes back for Barnhill. It was a long ball from the dummy half. Barnhill only a couple of metres short, thought about reaching the big left arm out. Mesher from dummy half. They've fallen to sleep, the City defenders. Mesher just short of the line. His head was on the try line, not the ball, as it comes back on the last tackle to Johns. The little kick behind the line, and Terry Hill this time has to clean up. What about the pressure on the City side? But still we're left with a scoreline, 0-0 City. And welcome back to Steelers Stadium. Wet old night in Wollongong, crowd of around 7,000. And for the last 10 minutes, it's been all Country. As John Simon it is.
And they should have scored, Andrew. We thought Mesher had got over from dummy half, but Andrew Johns, good defence again, David Fairley. Andrew Johns has just taken a couple of wrong options on the side of the break. They only had to throw the football on the last tackle. They'd have scored out wide. They put the kick in. They're still pressing.
Now some quick hands as it went to Rodwell, trying to get on the outside of Hancock, and Hancock's managed to take Rodwell over the sideline.
Yeah, good tackle there by Hancock. He showed him the sideline and then forced him over, of course, in the wet conditions, players sliding around all over the place, and it just had to be a half-by decent tackle, and it was a good ball and all job.
Adam Ritson gets a breather.
And he can be quite happy with his first, 25 minutes in representing the football. He's done great work out there for the City side.
Documented his problems, the ankle injury of Adam Ritson this season.
The new man on is Greg Florimo for City in 14, jersey number 14. He's moved into a lock forward position, so a little bit of a reshuffle in the City pack as Carroll, 10 on 10 there. Harrigan against his opponent forces a mistake, and the Chief, he's getting the players revved up. You can smell some points coming their way.
Well, it's taking time, but it's that sort of match in these conditions. Wearing the opposition down is what Country is doing. Scrum 25 metres out from the City line. Johns away to Simon. Little jink as he got to the line, and again Eddie Waters ruled them offside from the scrum.
Well, the referee told Brad Fittler as the scrum was being set to get out of the play. Fittler paid no heed. Another penalty, 15 metres out. Harrigan driving forward once again. You'd think they'd have to score in this next 5 tackles if they can control the football.
Of course, that time it was the differential as cross to Simon, then to McGregor. Trio of Steelers involved just 5 metres out from the try line. It comes back the way now, and almost over the try line, just 5 metres out from the line. There's now Mesha, then on to Johns. Decoy play was Muir, went through Gillespie to Sears, and Florimo all over Matt Sears. 15 metres out from the City line. Gillespie back to Muir. He comes back into traffic, slips the pass to Gillespie. Gillespie unloads for Johns, then for Willis. And the defence is holding firm. This is superb defensive work from City Origin. Mesha now with Muir, then Johns. He threw the dummy on the outside and tied it up in defence over the top. Brad Mackay down below was David Fairley. John Simon on the last tackle. Kicking for the wing. It's beautifully taken by Robbie Beckett. A real confidence booster for this Penrith youngster, and City have earned a penalty out of it.
And they get the bonus there, the City boys, and well-deserved too, because the defence has been nothing short of outstanding. Something like 24-30 tackles on their own line. Well taken there by Beckett, and then forced out.
Silly play there from Paul McGregor. He knew that Beckett had stopped with no momentum left at all, so he had to be penalised. Some heroic defence from the City side, and the bloke who's come up with some amazing stuff out there is Jamie Ainscough. With a lot of pressure with the centres running at him, looking like they were going to run through holes, and all of a sudden he's come in and come up with the crucial tackle and strong ones.
So spreading the ball from inside their own 20, perhaps a dangerous practice. Straightened up by Florimo up to the 20. Now Fittler again. That was a tidy pass from Fittler to Taylor. Slipped out of the hands of Brad Fittler. Mackay tackled 25 metres out from his own line. They can ill afford another mistake. They have to see out this set of 6. The crowd screaming for a forward pass. Almost intercepted there by Gordon. Got a hand to it, but then I don't think he knew where the football was headed.
Jim Sedaris struggling out there at the moment. He couldn't run from dummy half. He's just got a leg problem at the moment, and that ball did go forward to Brad Fittler before Ashley Gordon knocked the ball down. Taylor looking to pick up Beckett out wide.
Well, will it be one of those cases of hanging on for so long and getting the ball and coming up with a try? A fair bit of ground to cover. They're on their own 30. Go was the man playing the football. Now Fairley. Some heavy defence fell off in the tackle. That was Harrigan again. Sedaris keeps it going for Taylor. Ducked under a high tackle of Barnhill, Jason Taylor. And then was able to slide and crawl for another 5 metres up to halfway. Brad Mackay stuttering out of dummy half, tackled by Simon. It's been a while since they've been inside the country half. Carroll Harden straight for 10 over the advantage line. Tackled front on again by Cherry Mesha. Surely he wasn't the man sent out there to mark Carroll. Will be the first man in as now Fittler. Short ball for Menzies. The defence read it well. Andrew John stood his ground and made the tackle. It's 5 for City Origin. 40 metres out from the country line. Fittler. This time the pressure is on Sears. Brashes the first man through. Sears a clean miss. But Eddie Ward rules a penalty. Thought they were all onside.
Well, the referee saying to Tim Brasher that he was always inside the 10. So one of the City players knocked out of it. Tim Brasher doesn't like the decision. He believes he was onside. Are you travelling down there, Block?
Soaking. It's been a great forward battle. One player that's really impressed me since he's come on as a replacement. I haven't really thought of him about State of Origin. John Cross got through an amazing amount of work.
Stuck to the rules, they could have almost been a scrum to pack down. They almost overran the play before the tap was taken. Then the country side, Gillespie is tackled. 32 metres out from the City line. Sidaris and Carroll the tacklers. Adam Muir just about be leading the way in the hit-ups tonight for the country origin side. Adam Muir. Plenty of work from the number 12. Johns again. Away to Simon. Put out the big right arm. Fenn got away from Florimo. Willis back in field, but straight into the arms of that man, Florimo. Whether he likes it or not, probably a handy bench player for the origin side, Greg Florimo, because of that versatility. Ball slipped there from Barnhill. Putting pressure on his teammates. Mesher was the man cleaning up. Again, 5 tackles used up by country origin. Johns with a kick on the last. Again, kicking to try and trap this City side inside the in-goal. Brasher. What can he do this time? And trapped again inside his own in-goal. 32 minutes gone. We'll take a break. Country and City 0-0. Hope you're enjoying our Friday night football coming to you from Steelers Stadium. A difference tonight at City and Country. Certainly been plenty of feeling in the defence and the running of the forwards in particular.
Well, I've got to say, I think it's the most physical game we've seen all year. As Harrigan charges up, Sidaris brings him down. The forwards are just ripping in.
And Queensland's loving it. Is now straightening up the attack. Cross right in front of the City post. Cherry Mesher at dummy half. The play broke down just for a moment. Harrigan almost using referee Eddie Waters as shepherd there. Tackled 5 metres out from the try line. Mesher away to Simon. Long ball for McGregor. McGregor forced back in field. Again, the defence was up quick from Ainscough. And this time, Country still working the ball forward. Slipped past to Johns. And he in turn slipped just a few metres short of the try line. 5 tackles again. It's Simon on the last. The little kickers charged down and City with the ball through Jim Sidaris.
Well, it was Andrew Johns earlier. That time it was John Simon who didn't look on the outside. Caught the football. Didn't see that there was an overlap. You've got to take a chance under those circumstances and hope that if the play doesn't lead to a try, somebody out wide can get a kick to the ball. But just have a look at the numbers out there against 2 defenders.
Penalty now for a shepherd. And someone being held in to play the ball. Terry's not too happy. Yeah, it's a shepherd there. Penalty actually goes against Greg Florimo for getting in the way, and they'll have a shot at goal.
Well, I was going to say, Fatty, they've just about got a try for another 2. They've declined an opportunity from right in front. John's got the distance with the first kick. It is only 20 metres out.
Yeah, he didn't miss by far. And the 2-0 advantage going into half-time. A nice handy one. You're right about Jim Sidaris, Peter. I'd be surprised if he came back out after half-time. He's really struggled, especially the last 10 minutes. He's limping around with some sort of leg injury.
It's a bit of a dilemma if he does go from the field. We look at the bench players. Whether Craig Field, I guess, could slip into the dummy half duties. The trainer with Jim Sidaris, and he's doing it tough, and it's not going to get any better. So this kick from Johns, 15 metres in from touch. Looking for first points of the night. None from 1 for the Newcastle number 7. This time it looks good for Country. First points are on the board. Country origin leading City by 2 points to 0. And Andrew Johns with the honour of getting those first points in this representative match.
The pro-country crowd here very happy with that. They got an enormous ovation when they took the field. Country team. A lot of feeling down here. There's been good atmosphere the last couple of days heading into this game. And the opportunity for Country to defeat City is one that is savoured by the supporters down this way.
Did you used to like playing in these conditions, Peter?
It slowed everyone down to my speed. Yeah. I used to love it. And I think that if you look out there, the 2 halfbacks are probably suited by these conditions as well. I think both Jason Taylor and Andrew Johns would say that They're not in the speedster variety. Ball play and their work rate are probably their main attractions, and I don't think they'd have been too disappointed to see the heavens open.
This time it's Country from inside their own 20. Dave Gillespie, tackled by Florimo. Mesha, the pass was knocked down by Terry Hill, and the tackle count restarts with Rodwell in possession. City sweating on an error here from Country as Barnhill backed up to the 20-metre line. Incredible, this rain. It just hasn't stopped, I guess, now for around about 4 hours. As John Cross, 25 metres out from his own line. Away goes Cherry Mesha. Takes another 5. Tackled by Stephen Menzies. Johns. Then away they go. Muir again, up to halfway. It came off the back of Eddie Ward. And everywhere it goes. And Eddie Ward rules the scrum feed for City.
And gives the advantage to the City, yeah. Interesting ruling. Country in possession of the football. Good break made. Well, Muir stepped past Mackay and the ball hits Eddie Ward. I'm just wondering why it is that City would get the advantage there, Pete.
No idea. John Cross leaving the field. I thought it should have gone Country's way as Jason Taylor loses Brad Fittler for a moment. Finds him on the other side of the ruck, and Brasher just on half-time here. City would love to take advantage of that mistake. That ruling by the referee. Run some points in.
Nick Klossev back on for the Country side, back from the blood bin. John Cross returns to the sideline as Brad Mackay held up in the tackle. Ball swinging right there from John Simon in the tackle. They're 33 metres out from the Country line. Fairly the blind side. Eddie Ward this time rules a penalty against the markers. Standing square, another quick tap came from Sidaris to Fittler. Then on to Menzies, taken high in the tackle of Rodwell. It was a loose arm from Brett Rodwell. It has to be penalised, and will Eddie Ward take further action, and he's going to place Rodwell on report.
Let's just have a look at where the point of contact is. There's Menzies coming. No, it's down around the shoulder area. There's no dramas with that at all.
Nothing wrong with it. Steve Menzies back up. He'll be put on report, but there'll be no drama there. But in the end, you know, I think good refereeing by Ward to do that, call the touchy end and say, well, let's have a look at it later.
Well, Jason Taylor's elected to go for goal on this one. Let's look at the tackle again.
Yeah, no, it's just around the shoulder area, around where the ball is. A heavy tackle once again, and it's been the feature of this first half of football, the strong defence. Brett Rodwell disappointed here that he's given City an opportunity to level things up. Jason Taylor a fair way out in these conditions, 29 metres out. May not sound far, but ideal kicking conditions. But if anyone can put one over, you would back Taylor to do so. Pretty close to being in centre field.
So out of these sodden areas of Steelers Stadium, there aren't too many dry ones right now. Surface water right in front of him. Jason Taylor strikes that ball, driving it towards the post. Just wide, and Sears is able to run it back into the field of play. And that will be half-time. A torrid first 40 minutes to the representative season. And we go to the break with the smallest of score lines. Country Origin and Andrew Jones' goal, leading City Origin by 2-0. Welcome back. A very wet Steelers Stadium this evening, or at least the playing surface. The players returning to the field. The earlier games played here this afternoon and this evening. The under-17s, a big win to the City side, 34-4. Likewise, the under-19s, 30 points to 12. And we should extend congratulations to Noel Cleal, coach of the Country First. Their victory over City Metropolitan, 16 points to 8. Country to get this second half underway. Andrew Johns leading by 2 points to 0, and some changes in personnel, particularly in the City side for this second half. I can see Craig Field out there in 17, replacing Jim Sidaris. Also, Ken McGuinness is getting a run for the City side as we're underway for the second 40 minutes. And it's Mark Carroll who hits it back up to the 20. A real battle between the two number 10s. It was Harrigan the first man to Carroll.
And Andrew, good to see for the Countryside, some driving defence there from their forwards. Parramatta centre David Woods is out there as well as Brad Mackay ducks under a couple of players to take the ball 30 metres out, centre field.
City now with the ball, it's Brasher. Nice tackle there Again from Paul Harrigan. Monumental effort in the first half, and Harrigan's been able to dive on the loose ball. He was in the right position. Mackay was hurt in that tackle. A bit of difficulty back in the defensive line as Adam Muir, 30 metres out from the city line, tackled by Menzies. We come back to the left side. This is Johns inside for Barnhill, and Carroll lines him up and takes him out of the line.
Good stuff, Spud.
Set him back up, he says, as he got to his feet. As now it's Kosef. Menzies this time able to bulldog him across the park.
And from his positioning in defence and getting into dummy half, it looks as though Craig Field has moved into that hooking role for Sedaris. As Harrigan can't beat the tackle of Mackay, slips one out the back, silly ball. Jamie Ainscough cleans up and finds support in Fittler.
Counter-attack from the city side. Fittler still going up over halfway. McGregor finishes off the tackle. This is McGuinness in 16 at dummy half. This time last year playing in the under-19s. McGuinness across field, tackled by John Simon. Now away goes Craig Field, another player who plays with absolutely everything, Craig Field. This is a big occasion for him. He thought after being dropped from the first grade side last week from South Sydney that he'd blown his chances. He's picked up his second city jumper as away goes Florimo. Needs support, the kick over the top. Brasher and Johns. Brasher is first there and has the first 4-pointer. Tim Brasher for City, getting to the ball first, and City lead by 4 points to 2.
Well, a flying start for City, and that has hurt Country because Country had the opportunities in the first half. This was a silly mistake at the other end of the field. Paul Harrigan just looking for too much here, threw the ball out the back. Ainscough swooped, his Newcastle teammate, and then a couple of rucks later, just one missed tackle. Florimo able to break clear, summed his options, put the kick through, and Tim Brasher, as always, ever present, backing up to score the try.
Yeah, great stuff by the City boys. They absorbed all the pressure. Adam Muir, the man, comes up with a miss. Florimo, we saw him do this time and time again on the Kangaroo Tour. And Tim Brasher, it's a great little fullback, Timmy Brasher. The hand goes up, try time.
Now Taylor from close range to get this lead out to 4. All care taken with a kick. 11 metres out, Jason Taylor. Thank you for the extra 2. So early in the second half, City leading Country by 6 points to 2. We'll be back with more in just a moment. Welcome back. Stinging Country that try. Johns gets us back underway. Now Mark Carroll again. Just a few moments ago running back the kick-off to start the second half. Steve Roach on the sideline. He's been in the rooms during half-time.
Yes, well, exactly what Coach Phil Gould wanted for City. Just to be a little bit patient. He praised their defence at half-time, considering they had no ball. He said, stop giving away silly penalties, just putting pressure on himself. He thought there was a little bit of space here on Darren Willis's wing. He just keeps coming in on there. Asked Jason Taylor to watch that. You've already got the changes, and it's been a great forward battle, this one. Matt Sears won't be back. A bruised hip. Won't be back for the rest of the match.
Brett Rodwell's the man playing fullback, and he's the man that the Fittler kickers found. Rodwell from his own 20. Tried to get through the tackle of Brad Mackay, who appears to have recovered from that earlier knock in this half. And all of a sudden the pressure is on Country to come back into the match. Certainly only 4 points the difference, but that seems a lot in these conditions. Mesher away with that ball. Sliding into the tackle is McGregor. Trying to slide his way through the legs of the City defence. Barnhill gets it up to halfway. 5 used up by the Country side. Mesher again. Back it came for Johns with a kick. It's a high kick rather than one for distance, and has found touch. Having none of it, trying to take it at first attempt was Hancock. He's let it bounce over the sideline.
Well, I must give my congratulations to the big Crusher too, Crusher Cleal, in his first real job as a real football coach. He's come up trump to the 16-8 victory, and I saw plenty of old Manly moves being used out there too still.
He's been in a good paddock.
He has been. He's all over the flock. But they'll be celebrating long and hard at the Cooler Tie Hotel tonight, and well done to Crush.
He's decked out in the Dryser Bone and the felt hat. This is City Origin now. Plenty being exchanged here. The two front rowers, Carroll and Harrigan, and the two Bantam Roosters, if you like, Field and Mesher. Mesher might have the advantage in height by about a centimetre. General caution now from Eddie Ward for that foursome. Just a little committee meeting of the front rowers. We're back to where we started.
Well, Blocker would know this. Mark Carroll loves to talk in the scrum. He never shuts up, does he, Blocker?
No, he wants to get it on with Paul Harrigan. He thinks that he's got the job wrapped up, but I'm sure he'll want it. But Fatty, just to you, as Queensland coach, good luck.
Oh, little uppercut from the sideline.
We'll be okay, Blocky.
Scoring punch from Roach. City Origin with the penalty. Fiery time over the next 4 weeks with that City and Country, oh rather New South Wales and Queensland sides to be announced on Monday night. We'll bring you that live and exclusive on 9 before our coverage of the Bulldogs and Manly clash from Parramatta Stadium. What is the team, Fatty?
I'm not a selector. You'll have to ask them, Andrew. Another big tackle there.
They are getting it on. Harrigan and Carroll looking for each other now in defence and running of the football as Brad Mackay brushes through the tackle of John Simon, heads centre field. For a man who was sick in bed for the last 24 hours, Paul Harrigan has come up with an amazing performance out there this evening.
Switch of play from Taylor to Fittler, then turns it inside for Terry Hill. Just held up. And the tackle again of Paul Harrigan, who's almost out on his feet now, as Taylor in for Florimo. Well read by Cherry Mesher, right in the centre of the field. He saw Florimo coming back in field. Craigfield it is, working dummy half for Fittler again, starting to put his mark on the match, Brad Fittler. That kick went straight into the feet of Muir and dived on by a teammate.
You mentioned the good reading there from Cherry Mesher as Country go wide here. A little bit of space. That's Johns in the clear, steps inside. Brasher still looking for support and finds some. It's Ashley Gordon trying to get away from the defence, can't do so. Well, just going to wrap Cherry Mesher. There was talk that Mark Soden and Robbie McCormack maybe should have got the job, but he's justified his selection tonight with a very busy performance. What do you think of the call, Paul?
Well, Country with a chance here. And he wants score!
Hey, way to go.
Down he goes. They applied the 8 count to Eddie Ward. He was quickly up with a bit of a smile on his face.
I don't think now's the time to turn the referee's microphone up, just quietly.
Oh.
Well, he's asking them, do they want to play football? Or do they want to carry on with some other silly stuff? Does that go down as a tackle for both Barnhill and Carroll?
Give them one each. Give them 2 each for that.
Mud-splattered Eddie Ward now in control of this match. As Kosef it is for Country. 35 metres out from the City line. They're down by 6 points to 2 as Cherry Mesher makes 15 metres out of dummy half. Good run from the rake. 20 now out from the City line. Johns threw a dummy inside. Muir with the football, then back for Barnhill. Tries to wrestle his way away from the defence. Mackay was the tackler as Johns goes away again. Moving quickly, but only made 5 metres. Cherry Mesher. They're going to work the ball the right side through Simon. Cut out Muir for McGregor. It was a very hard ball to take. The field comes back with it for City.
In these conditions, they're almost impossible, those long balls to take right down at your feet. And so another opportunity goes wasting for the Countryside. In dry weather, sure, you throw that one, it would have landed on his chest, but not with the slippery conditions at his feet.
I guess we should explain, Fatty, that we have the capacity at the moment to hear what the referee is saying in his decisions, which is a tremendous advantage, knowing what the rulings are, which we have been passing on. The referee is mic'd up. It really makes the job easier, just working out what the decisions are for.
Well, just on the man who played the football there, Greg Florimo. I know you're coach of Queensland, but where does Florimo find a way into the New South Wales side? Kangaroo tourist of 94.
Well, they've got plenty of options there, haven't they? They could play him at 5'8", put Fittler at lock. He'd be a good bench player, wouldn't he, Greg Florimo? They could put him in the centres if they wanted to, but I'd say, having seen him come off the bench tonight, he'd be a great impact player for them.
There's again Adam Muir, tackled by Stephen Menzies, warming up Glenn Grief. Western Suburbs front rower who's been in absolutely outstanding form for the Magpies. So too his prop partner, the Kiwi Brent Stewart. And Country continuing to work this ball forward. Able to offload the football. Johns. Then away for Kosev. He finds some pace, Nick Kosev. It's cleaned up by Mesha. And now 35 metres out from the city line. The call comes from Simon. It goes away through Johns. Inside for McGregor. Field is there front on. Slipped the ball away. Allowed the play on for Rodwell. Rodwell trying to link back up with Simon. Now 8 metres out from the try line. There was no call for a forward pass from the linesman. Still they go now. Kosev, short pass for Johns. He kicked. And City again, Brad Fittler able to clean up on his own try line.
Well, I think a little bit of justice there. I've got no doubt the pass was forward in the previous play. Have a look at this inside pass to Paul McGregor. This pass to his centre teammate. It's gone a mile forward.
Rodwell was able to work it well forward then. And now it's City having to try and do the hard work away from their own 10. Terry Hill will play the football. This time it's Hancock.
It's Glenn Grief out there for the City team. And jersey number 15 on for David Fairley. He leads the tackle count for his side. Brett Rodwell cleans up 40 metres out from his own line. Another good chase. All the forwards there in numbers.
It's David Fairley favouring the left leg. That was a big clearing kick from Jason Taylor. Made 50 metres with a kick. And Kosev again. Been involved since half-time. Spent a good deal of that first half in the blood bin. This is Adam Muir. If you missed it, a big collision between Carroll and Kosev early in the match. I reckon they were Manly and Parramatta opponents of old, not Manly teammates. There's Gillespie. Showed it just to the left-hand side and was held up in the tackle of Menzies. Harrigan still doing his best out there. Johns to Simon. Simon across field. Got away from the tackle of Ainscough. John Simon slipped the ball for Rodwell. Country on the boil, 10 out. Johns tried to unload it, was knocked down by City. And he's ruled the knock-on against the City side.
He might have also ruled the forward pass there, which it's the same result either way.
We've seen some good combinations tonight from the Steelers players in the country team, haven't we? With Rodwell, McGregor and John Simon all mixing it, and John Cross played his part as well.
Just watching Andrew Johns in the last couple of minutes. He's got an amazing ability of keeping his arms free in tackles. When there's 2 and 3 defenders and he's in traffic, he still invariably manages to get the ball away.
City with his football. 21 out from their own line. Hancock is able to offload. Hill has to come back in field. No one on his outside. Doing a good job, Terry Hill. Then to McGuinness. Now away with the football is Ainscough. Over halfway the cover gets to him. Adam Muir. Ainscough trying to get on the outside of his Newcastle teammate, McGuinness. Then back for Taylor. He runs across the centre of the field to Fittler. Inside pass came. City still going forward now through Taylor. Then to Menzies. Then away for Ainscough. This is great teamwork from the City side. McGuinness tackled by Dave Gillespie.
Dave Gillespie in cover there.
Back on the 20. Field. What about the handling from the City side? Taylor kicking judiciously for the corner. The chase coming from Hancock. The ball towed through forward. Offside was Brasher. Hill will have a try for City. Tim Brasher thinking all the time. He knew he was offside after towed through from Hancock. And City have their second try, 10 points to 2.
And great vision there from Jason Taylor, seeing that the whole back line for Country were up very, very flat. They go wide through field. We freeze play there. You see there the Country line straight across. There's the winger out wide, so a lot of space in behind there. The kick was perfect. Kept the ball in field. And great work outside with Craig Hancock kicking the ball back in field. Tim Brasher realising that he's offside. Not so Terry Hill. And Terry Hill gets the second try of the game and the second for City.
Good stuff by Taylor, actually running to the line, pulling all the defence in. And amazing soccer skills here by Hancock. Great foresight to kick that. And that just might get him a New South Wales jump. And Tezza on the spot. They've looked a lot better the second half, the City team. More possession. They've made quite a few breaks. Jamie Ainscough looked dangerous out wide as well.
So, a very well worked and clever try from the City Origin side. This kick the toughest of the night for either goal kickers, Johns or Taylor. Taylor it is though. Focus is on him right at the moment. It wouldn't surprise if he can land it, but this one wide of the posts. It's still a good lead, 8 points it is. City Origin 10, Country Origin 2. We'll take a break. Welcome back. The rain maybe has eased just a little, although most of the supporters here are already well and truly soaked. So too Steve Roach on the sideline as City working this ball away from their own goal line. Now it's Glenn Grief. He will just keep taking that 5 and 10 metres every hit up. Glenn Grief, as this is Carroll. Steam there from Mark Carroll. That's been the case all night. And Adam Muir and Dave Gillespie the tacklers that time. Taylor finds Mackay. Mackay now back for Taylor, centre of the park. Puts it into top gear, Jason Taylor in the heavy going. Made 15 metres. Good run from the halfback. Of course, the number 7 jersey right up for grabs in the New South Wales side as Florimo came off the inside ball of Fittler. There's 5 tackles for City Origin, 10 their side of halfway. Taylor with a kick on the last. Driving that one towards the eastern touchline. Rodwell. Some handy work right on the sideline. And runs into the army of City defenders. Fittler and Mackay, the first 2 there. Now Darren Willis works it back up towards the 20. Country had so much field position in the first half and only came up with the 2 points on the board. 10 points to 2 now the scoreline to City. There's now Nick Kosseff. He works it up over the 30. Steve Roach is on the sideline.
Yes, a cork knee for Jim Sedaris. He won't be back. And also David Fairley, a cork thigh. Bit unfortunate for him too.
Just wonder the injury with Sedaris, whether it's severe enough to keep him out of the Origin match on Monday week. There's that kick. Brasher almost overran the football. Gordon ploughing through on it as McGuinness got away from Gordon. Ken McGuinness. City 10 metres their side of halfway. Field away to Grief. Wakefield enjoying the involvement in the match. Taylor. Away it came for Menzies. And driven sideways now. The Country defenders. There's 4 of them there. It's NFL football. He's done well to stay in the field of play, Stephen Menzies. To the best of play the balls. That put pressure on Carroll. Then Hancock. Now away for Taylor. There's numbers here for City. Fittler. Oh, great ball from Brad Fittler. And the support play again from Tim Brasher. He's having a superb game for City. Taylor. Then away for Ainscoe. It is the last tackle. Eddie Waters ruled a forward pass from Jason Taylor.
Forward pass from Taylor to Ainscoe there, so it'll be a turnover. Steve Menzies, a player who seems to have been well contained tonight, but conditions not really suiting him. He's a free-running, long-striding player who loves the dry fields. Couldn't rule him out of State of Origin contention just yet either.
Just looking while we're watching that replay, Carroll was shouting a few things out at Paul Harrigan, as if to say, next hit up, I'll be the first there. Carroll made the tackle, though, in turn on Kosseff. There was a smile on the face of Harrigan. Down to between the front rowers. Darren Tracy now on the field for Country.
Yes, all the replacements have been used now by respective coaches. Tracy, the Newcastle back rower. This is the front rower from the Knights, Paul Harrigan. And geez, that's some sort of game.
How about that for a run? That's a 20-metre job.
Carried 3 for 15 metres.
Inspirational stuff.
Mighty hit up from the Chief as Simon. 5 metres inside the City half. They need to score next the Country side. It is the 5th tackle. Rodwell in a dummy half. Now John's the blind side. Takes it up to the line, then kicks for McGregor. McGregor's the first man there, but it's Coote off the side of the boot.
I think he kicked with his wrong foot here, Paul McGregor. I think he had to kick with his right foot. They had a much tougher task to try and keep the ball in field. Nicely weighted kick there from Johns. Let's have it. He kicks with his left foot. I know there was plenty of pressure coming from Jason Taylor, but I think he had to try and keep it in with the instep of the right. Get it towards the try line.
And now John Simon off for Country. He limps from the field. Steve Carter back into the fray. Not the sign that the Steelers fans wanted to see with John Simon. Scrum 10 metres out from the City line. Again McGuinness getting involved since coming on at half-time.
Important now for the speedmen to get in the dummy half and take some pressure off the forwards down this end of the field. That's a good run from Fittler, taking it out over the 20-metre mark. Brasher goes into dummy half. Finds Glenn Grief.
The Chief is there. Paul Harrigan. Just A bear hug in the tackle on Glenn Grief as Mark Carroll works it forward for another 8. Field. Taylor will kick on the 4th. It's come off the head of Carter. It stunned him. Brad Mackay gets back to it. The tackle count won't be restarted. Mackay tries to step away from Carter. Steve Carter's done well.
That's no fluke from Carter. I think that he comes up with more charge downs than any player in the competition, and it's just reward for his enthusiasm getting through on the kicker. Here's some problems here for City as Craig Field finally gets in a pretty good kick under pressure. Steve Carter seems to invariably come up with one a game, getting through and putting pressure on the opposition man.
Ashley Gordon it is, as Rodwell. There's only 2 players on the left side. A long pass again from Rodwell to Johns. He was able to step away from Glenn Grief, Andrew Johns. There's Mesher, now for Tracy. The defence again standing back and waiting for Darren Tracy. He made 10 and loses it forward. He disappointed the first hit up the young Newcastle forward, Darren Tracy. Another player who's really fired under the coaching of Mal Reilly. This young man on screen. A little hand in there as well. It's going to be tough for these players to back up this weekend, even more so with these conditions. Our Sunday night match, North Sydney and Canberra. The Bears and the Raiders from 6:30. The City in possession. Terry Hill, one of the try scorers tonight for the City Origin side. Now, Florimo tackled 5 metres short of halfway. Field in a dummy half again. Fittler really put it up a gear in the second half, Brad Fittler. And, of course, more possession for City has made all the difference from the first half as Taylor. It went behind Menzies. Half chance for Country. Menzies cleans up well. Then for Brasher. City prepared to keep this ball moving. Brasher now away for Florimo. Florimo back over halfway. Back to almost where they played the football. And now Ainscoe a dummy half. It's time for Glenn Grief. There's that, another 10 for Glenn Grief. 35 metres out from the Country Origin try line. Field. Taylor kicking on the last tackle and kicking for the sideline. And finds it 15 metres out from the Country Origin try line. City in front by 10 points to 2.
Country starting to run out of a little bit of time here. Good kick there. The kind of tactics that City will come up with. They don't mind kicking for touch now. Everything is in their favour. Really, if Country are to get away with this game, they've got to score some points very soon.
Country now, 15 out from their own try line. Fatty, how'd you like to be one of these Steelers having to back up tomorrow? They take on St George.
Oh, I'd love it. He wouldn't do it, is what he's saying.
I asked the question.
50 tackles tonight, another 50 tomorrow. Sensation.
Fair enough. This is Kosef. 25 out. And he's a good tackle. His Manly teammate, Johns. Inside again for Harrigan. Hurtling his way through the defence.
I know he might play on a losing side tonight, but he's just about being the best player on the field. He's just so committed. You mentioned how crook he was yesterday. It's just an outstanding effort. Here he goes again. What can he do?
Well, he's got the 10 on his back. He's just about worthy of a 10 out of 10 for the performance, given the conditions. Paul Harrigan is captain of the countryside. Johns. Long ball again for Carter. Trying to kick over the head of Brasher. What about the hands of Tim Brasher? Just reached up. That was easy. Now watch what I can do.
I just like watching Harrigan and Carroll smash each other.
He's put the fend out on McGregor. Steelers Stadium really chopped up now. Over, is it now 9 halves of football in today's action, and most of it in driving rain as Field. Now for Taylor, then for Florimo. Another change in the City Origin side. Adam Ritson on in a clean jumper. Mark Carroll gets his first rest for the match. The City now from inside their own half. The left footer from Brad Fittler again finding some open space. And pressure on Rodwell with Hill right in front of him. And Terry Hill makes a good tackle with an assist from Hancock. Country now from inside their own 20. Spinning away from the tackle was David Woods. Made 5/8 last weekend for Parramatta against the South Queensland Crushers. Simon tries to duck in that tackle. 15 metres inside their own half. This time put down by the Chief. Chance again for the City Origin side to go on the attack. I mentioned earlier the rain had eased. It's got worse now.
There's a double pump there by Andrew Johns, and Harrigan had been expecting it, then he wasn't expecting it. When he came, he dropped it.
Wasn't expecting it.
He wasn't expecting it in the end, no. But I think Country, they had their chances to score, didn't they? Didn't take them. As Brasher comes in a back line movement. They had many opportunities in the first half and again in the second half when they spent some time in the City's quarter, but just couldn't get over the line.
Tonight, Ansett to put up the $1,000 for our man of the match. A number of contenders for that award as here's Ritson. Off goes Carroll. Ritson goes straight into Harrigan.
And he'll get some satisfaction out of that, the young front rower from Cronulla. They've had a few battles in the past as Jason Taylor tries to stab one through. It's been stopped by a Country player. And the bounce was a pretty good one for Darren Willis.
So Spud Carroll probably enjoyed that one too. Country again for much of this half have been inside their own half. Muir, nice little step away from Menzies. Overhead ball found a support as it was Kosef. It went forward then back. It says play on. The tackle count remains the same. Country 15 metres inside their own half. Harrigan away from Mackay. City defence, Glenn Grief was there with Greg Florimo. There's Johns trying to get something going for this Country side. Ball Tracy inside, straight into the arms of Grief. It was a quick play the ball if he just walked right over the football as Carter. It's the last tackle for Country. He thought about the short kick, then went long. Brasher is there from inside his own 20. Carter the first man through and makes the tackle. So maybe the shorter kick there would have paid dividends for Country. The two men on the outside, Gordon and McGregor. This is Hancock. You need a bit of individual play. One strike from the Country side. They're down by 8 points, 10 points to 2. Heading up to that final 10 minutes now as it was a high tackle. Was it Barnhill in that tackle? In fact, Muir.
That's the one thing they didn't want. They haven't had any football down their opponent's end of the field. Every time they kick, it's a pretty easy pick-up for Tim Brasher to get them out of their own problem area. This looks like another blood bin here. Nick Kosef still struggling with that nose, and John Cross goes back on for 17.
Plenty of penalties in this match. 50-50 though the count as Ritson got away from Barnhill. Still worried the forearm again crept up as Ritson took that football. Taylor.
It is a bit of a habit, isn't it, of Ritson to lift that when he gets into defence. Something you'll have to watch. Maybe John Lang do some work on that one.
Craig Field looking to knock Country right out of this match. Menzies 10 metres out. Will they stop Stephen Menzies? No, they won't. Menzies got away from 2, and City Origin have their third try. That should just about be the ball game. 14 points to 2.
Well, Paul said what a great free-running back rower this man is, Steve Menzies. He had plenty to do. A little gap opened up in the middle, and that's where fatigue starts to come into the game late. Freeze play there. You can see this man for the Countryside hasn't come in. He had to cover the middle of the play. These are the two markers that have come out, and all of a sudden Steve Menzies took advantage of it. It was Sherry Mesher, I think. No problems getting around Rodwell. Great body swerve, but the gap up the middle of the ruck, a little bit of laziness on the far side.
He hasn't had many opportunities, Steve Menzies, but he makes the most of this one. He's had a fair game, actually. Come up with 28 tackles to lead the tackle count for the City team, and that's the sort of stuff he's capable of when given an inch. He loves to run angles, Steve Menzies.
What a season 1994 was for Stephen Menzies. And in this appearance, looking for his first state of origin this year. In the meantime, it's Taylor, 15 metres out. A little over 15 in from touch. She drives this one over. There's an extra 2 for Jason Taylor. So City Origin, very impressive, leading Country by 16 points to 2. The try, well worth having another look at.
Well, it's just great running, see there, the ease that he beats players, I think, is the most impressive thing. 2 or 3 players had a pretty good shot at Steve Menzies on that occasion, and they didn't touch him. It just shows what incredible ability he has, great acceleration, great body movement. And he's just going to score try after try if you give him some room up the middle of the ruck.
And it's no surprise that this man's had a fantastic second half. Brad Fittler, captain of the City Origin side tonight. Who does become the New South Wales captain? Morgan and Fittler have been in fine form.
The good thing about this match tonight is that everybody that has played in the game has justified being out there. The only disappointment for mine was the injury to Matt Sears. I was looking forward to him playing a major role out there for his team. Unfortunately, that hasn't been the case. But Adam Muir's worked very hard. As I said, Cherry Mesher, apart from that little indiscretion there, and he's got every right to be tied. Jamie Ainsco's been great. Here he goes again, brushing out of tackles. There hasn't been a bad performer out there.
They might look to spread this ball on the last. Taylor. I know they've got Country forced backwards. Now Fittler kicking for the corner again. There's only Rodwell at home. And the chase is coming from Timmy Brasher. He gets there first, and Rodwell away from Brasher. Tackled by Greg Florimo. Don't forget the work of Florimo in this game of football too. Came on early. Got through plenty of work. Greg Florimo. Country with it. You can see just outside their own 20. Tough old slog. John Cross goes forward. He got through plenty of work too in the first half in his time on for Kosseff. Here goes Harrigan again. This time Menzies was the first man in there. Creeping up to the 30 mark in tackles for Stephen Menzies tonight. Johns kept it going for Carter. Then dummied. Carter is through. Looking for the man outside. Gordon can't handle. Well, at this stage of the game, 16-2, Carter had to throw the pass.
That's what he's good at, Steve Carter. He likes to drift across the field and throw a couple of dummies and step off his right foot. Seen him do it time and time again for the Penrith club. Gets through the Ainscoe arm grab there. The ball was a bit ordinary in the wet conditions and Gordon couldn't control it. Paul Harrigan, what about these for some stats? 32 tackles and 20 hit-ups.
Has there been a better prop forward performance all season?
Take nothing away from Mark Carroll tonight. I think there's been a struck match between them. Paul Harrigan has been out there the entire game. Of course, Carroll has only just left. But the battle out there between those two players has been tremendous, and I think they've done everything they possibly could to earn a New South Wales jersey in the front row.
Fittler inside for Menzies. They're really throwing it around now, this City side. It went through Taylor onto Florimo, almost away from an all-arm tackle from Darren Tracy. Just couldn't get a hold of Florimo to get him to ground as Field to Ritson. 25 metres out from the try line. And he's come up with a little knock on, Adam Ritson. So Country will have the scrum feed 25 metres out. It's only a small one from Ritson as he hit the deck. He was looking to offload. And in fact, McGregor's hand came over the top, knocking it out of his grasp. 50-50 in that situation. Scrum just held up by referee Eddie Ward. Johns, it's the blindside play from the scrum. 7-on-7. Taylor makes the tackle with an assist over the top from Brad Mackay. Harrigan. He goes. Mackay, another player worthy of a rap tonight. A good quality game of football in these conditions. In any conditions, it's been a good game of football. As Darren Tracy has tackled 5 metres inside the City Origin half. Mesher to Johns, blindside. Inside ball came to Muir, almost taken high. Now Rodwell is away. Rodwell, support inside from John Cross, wrapped up by Menzies. The last line, Menzies had to make the tackle from behind. Away it goes to Johns. Long ball for Carter. Carter dummy to the man inside. McGregor came inside as well. And Eddie Ward's waited a long time to rule the penalty. And Carter may well have been through. Quick tap from Mesher. Then for Johns. He steps off the left. Was able to unload a ball out the back. Barnhill having to clean up AFL style, dives on it.
Well, Eddie Ward had to wait for Steve Carter to be tackled before he pulled it up and allowed advantage to go their way. Good ball inside McGregor.
Here comes a try for Country. David Woods has the try. The ball came from Paul McGregor. Woods a try for Country, their first for the night.
Great pass there from Paul McGregor. That's what he is so good at, tracking a couple of defenders, showing his strength. getting the ball away. And David Woods, if he's got one problem in his game, it's a lack of involvement, because he can play. Good ball there from Adam Muir to Brett Rodwell coming up from fullback. Inside, he found John Cross. And then Paul McGregor taking the ball up like a forward. Two men hanging on. A good ball inside to David Woods, who did well to come in from the centres to be there to score up the middle of the ruck.
Quite a skillful player, McGregor. Not only can he make breaks, he's got a great one-handed pass, and we saw it there again. And, the country boys might be too much too late as Andrew Johns converts the try, and it's now 16 points to 8. City lead country.
Well, after the relentless attack of the first half, as you look at it again, Paul McGregor, he was, by right, should have been held, but slips the lovely ball. And David Woods, that'll please him to have the 4-pointer. Slow play coming back to the halfway line. In fact, they're searching for a football. To be at the selection meeting for New South Wales on Monday. Job to come up with a side this year with these players on show. There's been, you just isolate tonight's match, there's been plenty of star performers that, if they were fringe players, may have forced their way into the team.
I think one thing that has been proven tonight, and it's no disrespect to the Origin pack because they have played very well, but I do think that you'll see the majority of the City forwards in the New South Wales jersey. Brad Mackay's had an outstanding game. Menzies has got to be there. A mistake here by country. Although, of course, Paul Harrigan will be in the New South Wales side as Taylor
quick
cut
turnover.
out.
Here's Florimo. Florimo was able to break away, then tries to slip the pass inside. Muir hanging on in the tackle. He had to, so close to the country line. They're 5 metres out. Taylor, across it comes for Fittler again. He calls Florimo inside. And he's 15 metres out from the country try line. In fact, it was Ritson inside, as now Fittler. Inside ball again, this time for Ainscough. And the country defence regroups now 10 metres out from their own try line. Craig Field hasn't had a dart from dummy half. He's just kept on feeding that football. It ricochets out of Menzies. Big collision. Stephen Menzies left behind. He's now getting back to his feet.
That's one of the best dumps I've ever seen. Sensational dump.
5 tackles. City with Craig Field. Kicks a little too hard for the corner. If it was meant to be an attacking kick for the man running through.
This is why ball players have longer lives in the game than runners generally. Paul Harrigan in the centre of the ruck. Stephen Menzies coming, not even watching the football. Thanks for coming.
Had to be Paul Harrigan to run into too. That situation. So country with it. On their own try line again. The two halves. Country spent a lot of the time with the ball this end of the field in the first half, and it's when they have had the ball for much of this half, it's been down this end of the field. So back over the 20 now.
He's played well tonight too, Terry Mesher. He's in his first rep game. He's probably only, I know he's played first grade before with West, but as Menzies now gets into some space, but he's done very well around the rucks, and defensively he was terrific early.
That's 21 metres out from the country line. Can they finish the night off with another try? Inside the final minute to Fittler. Long ball across for Ainscough. McGuinness unmarked in the corner. Woods came across. He got back inside Dave Woods, Ken McGuinness. And now just 10 metres out from the try line. This should just about be the last play of the game. Mackay for Taylor. Then across for Grief. Good hands from Grief. Even better hands the man outside. Terry Hill playing the football. Still 10 metres out from the try line. Fittler, left footer, charging through. Rodwell wins the race for the ball, and that will be full time, denying City a 4th try for the evening. We said it earlier, a high-quality game of football, but City emerging the winners. Back in the winners list as far as representative football is concerned. Country winning last year's battle. City Origin getting the money this year, 16 points to 8, 3 tries to 1.